A delicious stir fry is on the menu today. I'll show you how to put it together with all the tips and secrets to success in the kitchen. Coming up right now on Cooking with Chef Bryan. Welcome everybody to Cooking with Chef Bryan. I'm going to show you how to put together a really delicious stir fry today. And did you realize there really are some secret little tips to be successful in the home kitchen for this? And I'm going to show you what those are, starting up right now with velveting. What in the world is velveting? So if I say velveting to you, what's the first thought that comes to mind? I hope it's something smooth and delicious and beautiful. Well, that's what we're going to do to the meat. So I'm using chicken today. You could use beef if you wanted to. The process is exactly the same. So I've chopped up the chicken in some bite-sized pieces here. It's just a chicken breast, a boneless, skinless chicken breast. And what I'm going to do is sprinkle it with some cornstarch. And then we'll give this a little bit of a toss. And what that cornstarch is going to do is obviously starch. It's going to help absorb any excess liquid on there, but it's also going to allow the meat to have a nice covering on it. And the next step in velveting that we're going to do is add an egg white into there. And so I have an egg white here. I'm just going to add that right over the top of it. If you so choose, you can put soy sauce or a seasoning in there if you want. And then you want this to sit for at least 30 minutes. And that's going to basically soften that up. Make sure you get that stirred so everything is coating in there nicely. So when you cook that and you bite into it, it's going to have that really authentic flavor and texture on that meat where it's nice and tender and amazing. So this is a great technique if you're using a really tough cut of beef, for example. Just cut it into some thin slices and then you can velvet it like this and then add it into your fry pan, and that's going to really soften up that meat. So I have that already done there. Let's set these aside here now. And I want to start with rice. I think one of the biggest questions that I get asked about rice is, well, I don't have a rice cooker. How can I cook it? And I think, how can you not have a rice cooker? Everybody has a rice cooker, but for those of you at home that don't have a rice cooker, this is how you're going to do it in a pan. So I have some rice all ready to go here. I've washed it and have the water in here. So we're going to do a couple of things to this. We're going to kind of make it a Korean style rice because I love that. I don't know if you've been to a Korean restaurant. The rice comes to you, it's kind of a purple color. Oh, that is the best. So what they do is they start off obviously with some washed rice in a pan like this, and then what they're going to do, and I've already taken it out because I bought it in a big 10-pound bag, and so you just take it out, put it in a little smaller bag, and you can just put it in your pantry and use it that way. But this is actually black rice, and that is so easy. You can buy it at most grocery stores, believe it or not, but you can also get it in the Asian stores. And so all you're going to do is add literally like that much to it, and it's going to turn it into a nice little purple shade of color, the rice. So don't put too much in there, otherwise it goes completely lavender. And so we're just going to sprinkle that into there, and that'll cook up. As it begins to cook, it'll kind of bleed out those colors, that purple color in there, and it'll help to color the rest of the rice so it's a beautiful kind of lavender color, or a light lavender color. So we'll just turn this on now. The other trick with a rice in a saute pan like this is a lot of times I'll bring it up to a boil and then just turn it on the lowest setting and let it just cook for 20-30 minutes or however long it takes for it to absorb that liquid into the rice. And so you don't need one of those fancy rice cookers to make delicious rice. That is ready to go now. It is in the pan and it's just cooking here. I'll keep an eye on it. When it comes to a boil, I'll turn it way down so that it just basically simmers and that rice reabsorbs the liquid. Voila! Very simple to do. Rice in a pan. Who would have thought, right? Don't dare tell any of you that's how I grew up making rice at my house. We didn't have a rice cooker. Of course, I don't know if rice cookers were around back then because I'm very old, I guess. So let's work on chopping up and getting all the vegetables ready. The thing with Asian cuisine in general, you want everything ready before you start cooking, because once you start cooking, it moves very quickly. And so what I like to do is I'll go through my fridge and I'll look and say, oh, what vegetables do I have in there? And so I'll just use up vegetables maybe I have in excess from the week, and I'll make a delicious stir fry. Nobody needs to know that I've repurposed all of that and I'm creating a whole new dish out of all of it. So this is just a bell pepper You can use red, you can use a green, you can use a yellow, you can use an orange, you can use any kind that you have in the refrigerator. So very, very simple to do. I have some zucchini that I wanted to use up also, so I'll cut this into some smaller pieces, and I'll just cut that up so that we can add that into it. And I think this is what I really love about stir fries. You can really just add anything that you want. And so I started off by velveting off, getting the chicken going, so now it can sit. The rice is beginning to cook. It's going to take literally the longest out of everything to cook. And so by the time the rice is finished, pretty much we'll have everything else ready. I think cooking, the hardest part is the timing. So this is good timing on this. So we'll get this all chopped up. And whenever I teach knife skill classes and things like that, I always have them do a dish like this because there's a lot of chopping and you have to use a lot of knife skills. So I'll keep working here, and when we come back, we'll continue on putting together this delicious chicken stir fry.
As summer comes into full swing, it's time to fire up the grill and treat your family to a special outdoor meal featuring everyone's favorite Klondike brand potatoes. Enjoy preparing one of our many chef-inspired recipes from the web, or create your own backyard culinary masterpiece using varieties from the full line of Klondike potatoes. Visit KlondikeBrands.com today for hundreds of recipe ideas and make your summers sizzle with Klondike Brands.
Welcome back to the kitchen, everybody. We're working on a delicious chicken stir fry here, or a stir fry in general, because there are tips and tricks to being successful with a stir fry. And it started out as I showed you how to get the chicken velveted. Now, when I think of the word velvet, you think of something that's really chic and smooth and delicious. Same idea. We are velveting the meat so that it's nice and tender. And so what I'm doing now is just slicing up some vegetables to go into the stir fry. And so what I was saying earlier is when I was teaching classes, and I would teach a knife skills class, I would always have people do a dish like this or fajitas, because there's a lot of knife skills involved cutting. So a lot of practice on how to hold the knife correctly, how to get the cutting down, and that kind of thing. And so if you want to, you can practice your knife skills when you do this type of a dish. Now I'm just going to slice these all up so that they're good to go and delicious. And like I was telling you earlier, I'll just go into my refrigerator and like, oh, what leftover vegetables do I have that I want to use up? So I have some broccoli here that I want to use up. I diced up some zucchini, some bell peppers. I have an onion here that I've diced up and ready to go. And this is the next part I want to talk about. So this is the broccoli stem, and it is edible. It's actually very delicious. And what I'll do is, I'll slice it in half so it's a little easier to handle. And I'll just slice down the edges here and just cut off the really tough fibrous portion that surrounds the stalk. And then this is just so delicious to eat. I love just slicing this up, and then I'll slice it up and just eat it as like a carrot or a celery. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It's a blend between a carrot and a celery. I don't know, that's just how I think about it, but you can be the judge of it and decide how you want to try it. But anyway, that's ready to go. This is a favorite of mine on like a vegetable platter. You can put that up, and they have something else like carrots or something to, to dip in their dips. So it's kind of a fun thing. Don't waste it. The price of food these days, I certainly would use everything that I could in the kitchen. So our rice is cooking here nicely. I'm just keeping an eye on it. It's come up to a boil here, so I'm going to turn it down now so it's just a simmer. That's all I want it to do. All we're doing is rehydrating the rice itself and letting it soak up the water that's in there. That's all we're doing. You don't have to boil the heebie-jeebies out of it. You just want that to rehydrate and do that nicely. And so that's how you do rice in a pan, as I was explaining earlier. I have some green onions here that I'm just going to chop up into some larger pieces so we can stir fry those in with our delicious dish here. And so those are ready to go. I also have some green beans, and I like to leave the green beans whole when I add them into there because I like them to fry a little bit so that they have a nice flavor. And as you can see, I'm just kind of stacking everything up here because when it comes time, I'll just lift all this up, boom, into the pan, it will go. So I want to just chop up some fresh ginger root If you don't have fresh ginger root, you can absolutely use powdered ginger in this if you wanted to. It's just that it does give it a really nice flavor because we're going to saute this into the pan with the heated oil. And so that's why I would recommend using fresh ginger. I think I always have fresh ginger in the house because I love to make up like a ginger honey tea. It's really delicious. It's a little chopped up ginger like this in a cup with some hot water and honey stirred in with it. It's really good. So we're going to turn this one on now. We're going to turn it up so it gets nice and hot. I'm going to use olive oil in this. You could use vegetable oil, whatever you so choose to. I just happen to have olive oil in-house, and so it's very easy for me to do. So I have our chicken, the velveting chicken now that's been sitting in here and doing its thing for about, 30 minutes now since we last did it. This now is going to go right into the pan and it's going to begin to cook. And what you want to do is basically fully cook that in the pan. And so that's important because all of this cooks so much faster. You want that chicken fully cooked. You have to decide whether or not if you want to remove the chicken after it's cooked or just add everything else in to cook it up. I've done it both ways. There's no right or wrong way with it. You can just add everything onto there if you want to. And so what I do is I start getting the chicken cooking here, and then I'll make the sauce. Now our sauce, I think, is really what makes stir fry. And so it's one of those delicious ideas that's going to be, this sauce that we're going to use is going to be a soy sauce base. And so it's going to already have a lot of salt in it. So you don't want to add additional salt and pepper before you taste it. That is so important with Asian cuisine because a lot of times the sauces that they use are soy based and there's already a lot of salt in there. Now if you don't like all of that salt, you can just use lower sodium soy sauce. It's just up to you. Adjust it to how you need it for your diet. So now I'm going to get this nice and brown so that chicken is beautiful on there. There we go. And the thing is, I didn't let the pan get hot enough so the chicken is sticking. That's kind of a clue. I'll give you a little trick to that to prevent that when we come back. Don't go away.
It's no secret, frozen rolls are fresher than bakery rolls. You see, bakery rolls are made in commercial bakeries. Then they sit all day in stores. Some even contain preservatives because rolls begin to stale immediately. By the time you eat your roll, it could already be days old. Rhodes Bake and Serve is found in your grocer's freezer. Simply take Rhodes frozen roll dough home and let it thaw and rise in a pan. Bake Rhodes rolls in your own oven. Rhodes Bake and Serve, hot and fresh, right out of your oven.
Welcome back to the kitchen, everybody. We're working on delicious chicken stir fry today. And when we left, I was telling you about how to sort of prevent things from sticking in stainless steel. Remember, stainless steel by nature is not non-stick. It's going to stick in there. But if you remember, hot pan, cold oil, no sticky. One of my all-time favorite chefs that I worked with for years and years up in Logan taught me that. And I always remember that hot pan, cold oil, no sticky. Of course, it's not always foolproof, but it does work a little bit better. And my chicken is sticking on the pan just because it wasn't hot enough, but that's okay. It's still gonna cook and be delicious. And we'll just kind of scrape some of that up onto there. So just remember that little tidbit of fun there. Hot pan, cold oil, no sticky. Now while that's cooking up here, the rice is doing very well. I want to put together the sauce that we'll use to finish off when this is. Remember now, the chicken is what's going to take the longest at this point to cook because our rice is about 3/4 of the way done already. So we're going to put the sauce together. We have all the vegetables ready to go into there. We're going to add in our fresh ginger and garlic in just a minute. So there goes the soy sauce since it's going to be the base. And of course, all the measurements, you can go to cookingwithchefbryan.com, grab the recipe there. But a little soy sauce, we're going to add in some rice vinegar that's going to go into there. We're going to put in some sesame oil. And what I love about Asian sauces such as this, they build these delicious flavor profiles. So with the soy sauce, a hoisin sauce now that we're going to put into there. I generally always have hoisin sauce because I like the flavor that it imparts in foods and I like to add it into different things. Has kind of a nice sweet overtone to it. And with that said, we're going to add in a nice spoonful of just some honey to help sweeten that up. Now let's mix that all together. And that is almost done for the sauce now, almost. So to finish that off, we're going to add in a thickening agent. And of course, the thickening agent that we'll use is a cornstarch. Let's just kind of check our chicken here, get that moved around so that it doesn't burn on there. It's smelling great. I don't know what is it about, cooking chicken or things like that, pieces, that just smells so delicious. So we'll get that in there cooking around. And then we're going to add the cornstarch. Now in Asian cuisine, cornstarch, a lot of cornstarch is used as thickening agent. Cornstarch will thicken sauces clear, and so that's important, whereas flour will thicken sauces cloudy, and that's important. So let's just get out a whisk here, whisk that in so the cornstarch, the honey is all absorbed into there. And there we have the sauce, and we'll just pour this into the pan when it is almost done. So there we have the sauce ready to go. And like I said, a lot of times I think the sauce is what really makes the stir fry. Okay, so the chicken is getting to a point to where it's cooking up nicely. Let me just grab my fork here. We'll kind of move that around, get that up off the bottom of the pan. There we go. Looking delicious. And what I want to do at this point now is we're going to add in that fresh ginger. And boy, if you think that's aromatic, wait till you add in that fresh ginger. It's just going to really pop with flavor now with that fresh ginger. Also, I want to add in a spoonful of garlic into it. And yes, I'm just using garlic right out of a jar. Of course, for you true garlic persons at home, if that is not what you like, you can absolutely chop up your own garlic. So let's just stir that around in there. Oh, that's looking so good. That chicken, the aroma of the garlic, the ginger, the sesame oil, believe it or not, that I just put into there is outstanding. I'm really excited for you to try this because it's a very simple dinner to put together, and generally everybody loves stir fries. Let's check on the rice to make sure it's coming along nicely. It's looking great. Let's just take our fork here, a spoon that we were using, give it a little toss, just kind of fluff it up a bit. And it's almost ready to go too. About 2 more minutes, it's going to be ready to go, and it's going to be amazing. When we come back, we'll finish it all up. What a great idea for dinner. Are you looking for some delicious side dishes for dinner? Well, why not try Green Giant Fresh Minute Mashes? They're simple, they come in 3 different flavors for your dinner, and all you have to do is put them in the microwave, 7 minutes, pop them out, smash them in the bag, and serve them. It doesn't get any simpler than that. Welcome back, everybody. We're doing a chicken stir fry. Stir fries in general, so easy to do. Everything is cooked now in our stir fry pan. I'm going to add the sauce that we made earlier. So I'm just going to add that in, and then I'm going to hurry and just kind of stir it and move it around so that it helps. Everything is coated, so the stir fry itself is coated, the chicken stir fry. And that heat is going to help activate the starch that's in there, and it's going to thicken and become that much more of a glaze onto everything. Oh, that smells amazing. That soy sauce just hit me in the nose. So, So let's stir that together. That has come up to a boil. The sauce is thickened up beautifully. As you can see, it's coated nicely. Our stir fry here. The chicken was velveted in there. I just turned that off. It's pretty noisy, that little cooker there. And then here's our rice. Look how beautiful that lavender color of the rice is. I'm going to serve this right on the side with our rice. And you've got a great meal. Now you can head over to cookingwithchefbryan.com, grab the recipe, as well as hundreds of other recipes. It's just up to you, however you want to do that. And you can always find me on social media. And I'm most interested, or pay most attention to Instagram, I should say. Chef Bryan Woolley on Instagram. You can find me there. If you have a question, you can always drop me a note there, and I will get to it and hopefully get an answer for you. So delicious chicken stir fry. Head on over to cookingwithchefbryan.com. Grab that recipe. You're going to love it. And as always, I appreciate it when you say hi and you see me out and about in the grocery store or whatever. It's always fun to hear your food stories as well. Well, everybody, I'm going to dig in and enjoy, and I hope you do the same. I'll see you all next time. You can find all of these complete recipes on my website, cookingwithchefbryan.com.